Welcome back, everyone, to We Talk Film Podcast. I am your host, Barry, joined by Clayton, as always. And it's been a while.
It has.
Welcome back, viewers.
We've had a bit of a break.
Listeners, whoever remains.
Yeah. Does anyone remember us?
We were relevant once when we did that ice thing about the football team. We were relevant.
Yeah.
I forget the movie.
Like the only Society of the Snow.
Society
That's like
of the
the only
Snow.
thing.
That's right.
That got views of ours.
Exactly.
Fine. But we're back. We're bringing today a movie that is not as new as we'd like to hope. This episode has been a little bit of in the making. Me and Barry have been very busy over our holiday break, but we're back. We have some big plans for the third season of We Talk Film. This is weird.
This is the third season because it is now. We've been doing this for, this is our third year. Damn.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for too long. Yeah. And we're not even at 100 episodes yet.
Yeah, we're not far away. But before we bring you our feature presentation this week, which is, of course, a complete unknown, I'd like to throw us on over to the news section, Mary.
News! That's right. I still got the buttons, people. I know what to do.
It's funny. It really didn't. We had to go over everything about 10 minutes ago and make sure Barry knew where all the things were. It was really funny. Speaking of things that are really funny, segues are back. It's still there. Okay.
It's still bad as always.
Yeah, they're great. We got a bunch of new trailers over the last week or so. I'd like to bring up. The Super Bowl happened over in the US of A, which is I do not. Yeah, sure. See, I don't give a crap about the Super Bowl, but
I watched it.
They always put out trailers in the middle, so I watched those.
Yeah.
The first one that I'd like to mention is Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yes.
It's a direct sequel to Dominion. It's it's Scarlett Johansson, Idris Elba, and there's a whole bunch of... No, it's not Idris Elba, it's Mahershala Ali. The other one.
Yeah, your movie's confused.
Oh my god, yeah, I was. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this new Jurassic World film? Do you want more dinosaurs?
Yeah, I'm always down for it. They did obviously get a bit stupid with the reboot or the Jurassic World movies. I reckon the first Jurassic World was well done, but then the other two was just what happened type thing. It just got really, really bizarre and just really bad writing, and then cameo appearances of older people. And it's okay, this one I'm a bit excited for because it's Gareth Edwards coming back to do another big blockbuster film and everything like that. Look, will it still hold up to the original? No, it never will. No sequel will ever do that. But I will still go and see it. I'm still looking forward to it. So it looked interesting enough.
I don't know if I'd even use interesting to describe this film. I feel like I'm
the weird xenomorph T-Rex. You gotta go see that thing.
I hate that. That's the.
It's gonna be like the Darth Vader of Jurassic World franchise.
Yeah, but dinosaurs are scary enough on their own. I don't know why we always have to do the mutant dinosaur thing. I'm so over that, and that throws me off a lot of this trailer because it looks fine. It looks like it's got some action and some fun moments, and probably some. Yeah, and that's kind of it. So I'm not as invested, but I probably will still go and see it just because I am a huge fan of the first Jurassic Park. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, so I will keep watching it. Whether they are terrible or whether they are good. Moving away from Jurassic World. The last one
still made $1 billion, so,
We don't talk about the last one, bro. Another trailer we got was for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Mission Impossible 8.
That's it. Tom Cruise dies at the end of it. No more Tom Cruise.
It wouldn't surprise me if he does, but then they'll bring him back anyway.
Yeah.
No. Are you clamoring for more Mission Impossible? I know that this is technically was the part 2 to the last one.
Well, that's the. I'm just I'm keen for it. I will go and see it because it's all right, it's another Mission Impossible film. It's just insane what Tom Cruise does. But
he's on a biplane.
I just don't care anymore. It's just that's coming out.
But he's on a biplane.
Yeah, cool. So what? And that's what I feel like with the past 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair assumption. There's 8 of these movies. It's how impossible can the mission really be?
Yeah.
But No, I still watch it. I enjoyed 7, which was Dead Reckoning Part 1, they called it, and
or
now
just Dead
this
Reckoning.
is
Yeah.
they've done a whole switch up. There's no parts now. It's just a
Yeah.
direct sequel. I don't give a shit about that. But it was fun. Last one was
Yeah.
fun.
Last one's
This
cool.
could be cool. I'm
Yeah, they're
excited
all
to go
cool.
see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good cinema experience. I can't think of any movie that's like as spectacular on a big screen as something like a Mission Impossible.
Yep.
So that's what I'm excited for the most.
Cool.
We got a trailer for Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Marvel's newest hit team, everyone's favorite superhero
We're
team.
some type of Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Suicide Squad, but Marvel. They copied the trailer pretty word for word to the Suicide Squad one. I'm kind of into this movie.
Yeah, I'm keen for it. I'm keen
Like,
for it.
Out of Marvel's current slate, apart from maybe Fantastic Four, which had an amazing trailer a couple weeks back, this is probably what I'm most excited for. Honestly, even more than something like Daredevil.
Really?
I feel like
Wow.
I'm into this because I think it's going to be a sleeper hit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like it's got sort of the Guardians Suicide Squadiness of it, but like if they pull it off really well, it could be amazing. The villain, the Sentry, and the Void looks great in this trailer.
Oh yeah.
People are turning into shadows on sidewalks and shit. If they make him terrifying and they lean into these guys can't beat this villain aspect of the story, I feel like it can be really
These
fun.
guys are like the D-list of all superheroes.
Yeah. And that's such a great like trope that we have seen quite a fair bit in recent years, but I don't grow tired of it.
Yeah.
Like it always hits hard. It's like we couldn't get these 20 other people, but we got you guys. So go do your best.
That's all we've got.
Yeah. I love that. Still don't know what the asterisk is for on Thunderbolts.
Well, that's the thing, because they can't be called anything else, and it's a working title, so they've just like they've gone with it. So this is called Thunderbolts Asterix.
Yeah, but they mention it in the trailer and everything. So like, how do they get their name? I don't know. They've come up with it.
Harrison Ford comes in the end. You got to be called the Thunderbolts.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. This next one is something you're really excited about. The Accountant 2.
Oh yes.
Batman and the Punisher.
Batman and the Punisher. Let's go.
Shooting some guys.
That's all it is. That's all it needs to be. Them doing their own stunts. By the looks of it, it is again. So probably you got to find out like Ben Affleck broke all his ribs again or something like that. Because they went pretty insane with the first one. I can't get over it. It's been over 8 years since they did the first one now. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
That went pretty quick. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it to come back. At least this time they're teaming up together by the looks of it quite a bit more. And it's actually like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was just like thinking after the first one. Well, after the first one, I was like, this isn't getting a sequel. And they wanted to make a sequel. So eventually they made a sequel. And they're like, oh, they're not going to be able to bring John Berthel back because he's like in everything now. Like he's in Daredevil and getting his own Punisher show and other things. It's like, no, he's actually going to be like one of the main characters in the movie. It's like, yes.
No, it's very cool to hear. I'm excited for it. This last trailer is for Twisted Metal Season 2, a show that I think we covered the first season of.
I didn't see the trailer for that.
You didn't see the trailer for this?
No, I didn't realize that trailer came out.
Oh, I should have sent it to you. I thought you would have seen it. It looks like all of the good elements of the first season just ramped up like 10 notches.
And that's what you need.
Yeah. They're doing the tournament, which is the like games now as they're getting into it. Similar to what like Mortal Kombat 2 is doing now that they've got that foundation, as much as they didn't need that foundation for Mortal Kombat's case. But for this one, I think they did. And because the first season was really good, I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie was great in it. The clown guy was really cool. I forget a lot of their names, but I remember that it just being a really fun show. Yeah, so I'm excited for more. That could be cool. Very cool. We will cover that probably.
We'll cover season 1. No, I'm surprised that this actually came out because obviously, Anthony Mackie's been busy doing Captain America and like other films at the moment. I was like, oh, they actually did have time to film it as well.
I think they're using that hype train for this trailer release. Captain America's coming out. They're like, oh, Anthony Mackie, if you love this, come watch our show, which Hollywood. Yeah. Yada yada. Which speaking of Mortal Kombat 2, as I mentioned a little while back. Was this a few minutes ago? I'm losing my words here. My God, I'm so out of touch with this.
I know, we haven't done this in months. It's like, why are we here?
God, who knows? Mortal Kombat 2. We got a logo reveal, and we got a first look at Carl Urban's Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. Are you into it, Barry? Because
No.
I don't get it.
Yeah, neither do I. It does look a bit odd as Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Just something's not right. But you know, I'm still waiting to see a trailer. Like, I get the whole point. They're probably trying to make him like a B-list actor inside that universe, and he just does like these really like Steven Seagal type base movies and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll still wait to see the trailer first and stuff like that, see what comes from that, because at the moment this is just like a poster for within the movie itself. But it does look a bit like, why? Why does he look like that?
I don't know. I don't think Carl Urban was the right casting choice for Johnny Cage, and I've never thought that.
Yeah.
Like, since they announced it and there was rumors of it prior, I was, why? Like, he'd be a great maybe Kano or something. Another role, throw him as Aaron Black or some of these unknown characters that he could have done really well.
Yeah.
I don't know about Johnny Cage. He's too
and
old.
plus I feel like everyone's just gotten used to that. Yeah, being that, and he's just like, The Boys is like his biggest thing at the moment, and he plays just such like an iconic character in The Boys that's very different from Johnny Cage, where it's just like, I couldn't see Carl Urban being Johnny Cage now since he's done The Boys as that character. Like, I want him to do more stuff like that kind of villain-esque in all his future stuff now.
I think it's going to be fun. And I think he's going to do a good job, but I just don't think he was the best choice, and I don't think he will be the best choice when it comes out. And we see it, and we're like, oh, it was cool, it was fun, but he was doing something different, he was doing his own thing. It didn't quite feel like Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe he'll be so good that we just forget it's him, and it's just, we're sucked into the world of Mortal Kombat, and he becomes Johnny Cage.
Just we don't know. Scorpion in there. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. They're definitely going to do that. They can't have a Mortal Kombat movie.
They should have just done an entire film just about Scorpion.
The first 5 minutes of Mortal Kombat 1
is an entire film.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. It would be 10 times better than that terrible movie that we got. Okay. The final thing that I'd like to talk about this news section is a wacky announcement for a film that I would never have ever pitched to anyone. I would have never thought of. And I would have never thought would ever make any money, but
is
now that I hear
we're making?
No, I wish. I really wish. Taylor Lautner, the actor from the Twilight films, is starring in a film where he plays himself, like the actor plays himself, hunting werewolves. It's sort of like a Galaxy Quest situation.
Okay, I knew about this film. I thought it was just like him in a film, like about hunting werewolves. I was like, that's kind of funny. So he's
playing himself.
What?
The actor.
Why?
Yeah.
Is it just going to be like another version of him, just like a younger version from like the Twilight days, and it's like, I have to kill you now?
No, it's just like him now. It's if werewolf hunters went to him now and we're like, hey man, you were in Twilight, you must know what you're doing, come kill werewolves. And he's like, alright, and that's the movie? I think.
And then at the end it's revealed he was the wolf the entire time. Bum bum bum.
I mean, maybe. Like this is the greatest and worst idea for a film I've ever seen. I'm gonna be first in line to see this in the cinema. Like, it's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I'm so into it.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it for the news this week, Barry. What's our main topic? What are we throwing ourselves into now?
So our main topic tonight is an amazing film called A Complete Unknown, and I have a little clip here to play for everyone.
Oh my God, it's Bob Dylan.
Once upon a time, you're just so fine.
They just want me singing Blowing in the Wind for the rest of my goddamn life.
Then you.
Well, this is gonna piss some people off.
People
You came here
with nothing but a guitar. You never talk about your family, your past.
People make up their past, Sylvie. They remember what they want. They forget the rest.
I want to know which side he's on.
I'm not sure they want to hear what I want to play, Johnny.
I want to hear it.
No, Bob Dylan. Play what they said. You hear that, Johnny? You hear that, Clayton? Oh, that Simpsons gag will never get old. So yes, we finally watched A Complete Unknown, starring Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan, directed and written by James Mangold.
Yes.
So the story for this one is set in the influential New York City music scene of the early 1960s. A Complete Unknown follows a 19-year-old Minnesota musician, Bob Dylan's rise as a folk singer to concert halls at the top of the charts as his songs and his mystique become a worldwide sensation that culminates in the groundbreaking electric rock and roll performance at Newport Folk Festival in 1965. So yes, this is a very brief time of Bob Dylan's career, but a very probably his most influential time of his entire career and his entire life.
Yeah, I mean, it's his rise to fame. It covers this span of 5 years in this dude's 60, 70-year history of making music. And I first want to say that I wish this is what more biopics did.
Yes.
A lot of movies that cover someone's life or someone, especially someone famous's lives. Jesus, my God, my words. When it covers someone's entire life, it expands their entire life, where you're jumping forward through the years throughout a 2-hour film, and you can't fit a lot of what makes that person in a 2-hour full life story experience. You just can't. Unless you're doing something as like a series, then don't even bother trying. Whereas this, it's 5 years. It's a very big 5 years. A lot happens in this time span for Bob, but it's such a small slice that it fits perfectly. And it also saves us from seeing Timothée Chalamet and shit tons of makeup playing old Bob Dylan later, which would have been horrifying.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad that didn't happen.
And then like his accent would have needed to get like worse as well through it.
Yeah,
because progressively his voice got like bad.
Yeah, so this, Bob Dylan's rise to fame, folk singer. The start of this movie is one of my favorite openings of a biopic ever. It's just him walking through the streets. There's no like backstory.
Yep,
there's no bullshit. It's just he's
like,
there.
I just came from New Jersey. What the hell, man?
Yeah, it does not give you anything. And he just shows up at a hospital to play for one of his idols, Woody Guthrie, where he meets Pete Seeger, and then you're in. Yep. You know nothing about Bob Dylan's backstory.
Nope.
You know nothing about what he was doing just before this, and I love it. It's great. Every single other biopic similar to this, even something like Walk the Line, which is another James Mangold film, gives you 30 pages of exposition and Baby Johnny Cash and all of that stuff that I really don't care about. I just want to see him show up and play music. So I was already so invested in this film. And then from him meeting Pete Seeger, we go through the essential is him writing 2 albums, one of them being mostly covers, playing folk festivals, playing around a couple bars, a whole lot of stuff is happening. He's being an asshole to a lot of women. And then the film culminates in a performance at the same folk festival where he's now gone electric for his Highway 61 Revisited album. And that's where it ends. And it gives you some post-text afterwards, but there's no like post scenes, there's no future Bob Dylan. This nice little slice. It's this nice self-contained story. It tells you absolutely nothing about Bob Dylan, and it's great.
Exactly. Thanks for joining, everyone. That's the podcast. We'll see you next time. But no, yes, this is probably like, well, definitely, I'm going to say it now, probably my favorite film of 2024. This kind of blew me away a bit. Now, I knew like for a long time now that James Mangold has been wanting to do a Bob Dylan film since he did Walk the Line. I remember like watching an interview because I really like Walk the Line. that was actually one of the earlier films that I watched. James Mangold. I was like, oh wow, like this guy's like really good at what he does and everything like that. And then like obviously around that time he was like, yeah, no, I really wanted to do a Bob Dylan film, but I think he just couldn't get the right story or the rights or something like that. And so 20 years later, hey, it finally happened. He finally got there. And like you said, yeah, this story about like only really 5 years of Bob Dylan's career was just so great because you got to see everything he was involved with and like how he got real famous really quick as an extremely young person as well. Like he was only 19 when all this started happening and everything like that, which is insane. And then he
first
basically
proper album, he was like 21, I think.
Yeah.
When he did Freewheeling Bob Dylan. Like,
it's
insane. Like, he was younger than me.
Yeah. Like a full decade younger than me. I feel old.
Wacky. Yeah.
But then like seeing that and then seeing him basically all these folk musicians and these folk producers putting him into the limelight of things. Even they make a point of it in this film. Because obviously we are introduced to Johnny Cash in this film, which is a fucking standout performance by Boyd Holbrook. I kind of forgot that was Boyd Holbrook for like a good like 10 seconds when you first introduced to him. I was just like, oh my God, like it's Johnny Cash. Oh, wait a minute, that's also Boyd Holbrook. Like even though he doesn't like quite look like it, but his performance and the way his mannerisms and everything like that is so much more than what Phoenix did in Walk the Line. Like I wish they had Boyd Holbrook Walk the Line. That would have been such like an amazing film because this is like a 1-for-1 Johnny Cash type thing. And then also you see him like Bob Dylan outperform Johnny Cash at this folk festival, and he's some new kid type thing. But no, the entire like crowd and everything loves him because they're singing along to his songs and not Johnny Cash's songs. Which is kind of
and
funny.
even Johnny Cash loves it too.
Yeah,
he's Bob Dylan's biggest fan throughout this film.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the casting for a second because you mentioned Boyd Holbrook's Johnny Cash, which I agree didn't quite look like him when I first saw him. I was like, that doesn't quite. And then he started singing.
Yeah.
And then I was in.
Yeah.
And then through the rest of the movie, that was Johnny Cash. Like, I could not tell the difference.
Yeah.
In a picture, it just became Johnny Cash, which is an amazing achievement. He's one of the hardest people to like pull off, especially on screen. And Joaquin did a pretty good job,
but not as
good.
He
blows him out of the water.
I'm sorry,
like
and you only see Boyd Holbrook for like a total of 7 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, the entire film.
He shows up every now and then, and he's great. The main casting: Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan. I'm curious as your thoughts on this because I was kind of blown away.
Same. That's the thing. I feel like he's everywhere now. That's the thing with Timothée Chalamet because he's just gotten like to the top at such a young age and everything like that you do see him in everything like Bob Dylan. But yeah, that's what I was kind of worried about. I was just like, oh, really? They're just getting Timothée Chalamet because he's just like one of the biggest celebrities and actors around that time. It's like, will he do an actual like good job and stuff like that? And then I started seeing the pictures. I was like, he just looks like Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. I was like, I was like, oh, okay. And then they released the trailer. I'm just like, okay, I'm digging it. And then watching the film and then his performances. And going back to that a little bit as well, the one good thing they did about this film, compared to every single other biopic, when someone plays a song in this movie, they actually sing it themselves and they sing the full song from beginning to end, and they fuck up on their guitar chords as well, which happened many a times throughout this film, which is perfect because that's what happens when you're actually performing in real life. There will be like, you can't perform it 1-for-1.
No, that was my favorite part of this entire film. I remember texting you after I saw it because I saw it a couple weeks before you did, being like, this is amazing. They played every song all the way through. Yeah. And they just let the music carry a lot of the scenes. It's just him playing a guitar for 3 minutes straight or 5 minutes straight in the case of a lot of his songs. Yep. And it's entertaining the whole way through. It almost feels like a concert film through long segments of this. And I love that. That's especially
that final part, the final festival.
Yeah. Yeah, it's most of the festival.
Yeah.
It's one full act. His act and a couple other songs. It's great. I love that. I would have never gotten tired of that. This film could have been half an hour longer, and they could have just had him play more songs, and I still would love it the exact same.
Yep.
But yeah, speaking of Chalamet, the fact this movie took 5 or 6 years to get made. They delayed it a couple times. COVID pushed everything back, which meant the actors themselves had a lot more time to actually learn the instruments and sing, which they weren't going to quite do if this film was made pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
Because I know the actress that played Joan, and I forget her name.
Monica Barbaro?
Yeah. Her.
Yep.
She started learning to sing and playing like right when the movie was about to go.
Yep.
So if that movie hadn't pushed back, they would have dubbed her over.
Yeah.
And I think Chalamet would have been a very similar situation.
Yes.
But because they had this 5 or 6 years to learn, they really put their all in because they sing and they play like the people. It sounds like Joan. It sounds like Bob. It's not over the top Bob, which is another fear that I had with Chalamet. He's not doing a caricature or a satire. He's not overdoing the accent.
Yes.
Especially, but it is there. It's there and it's enough to carry you through without taking you out of it. Because if he tried doing that like Bob did, he'd have to either smoke like 400 cigarettes a day or go over the top with his voice. So I'm glad that they found this nice spot to be in because it really just helps you through the movie. And then the performances are great. He messes up all the time and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. It's all actually him.
Yep.
BPMs of tempo, BPMs of songs are wrong. Things are not sounding like the record all the time, it's perfect. Because you know for a fact Bob Dylan would have been exactly the same performing live.
Yep. Because he actually can go. I realized on Spotify because like I've always been a bit of a Bob Dylan fan, even like before this film and everything like that. Like I always enjoyed like his music and stuff like that. Because like I know Green Day, they cover a lot of Bob Dylan songs and stuff like that because that was like one of their influences for their songs, well for Billy Joe Armstrong anyway. But yeah, it was just like kind of good to see like the little imperfections in this film and stuff like that, which just like gave it more character and everything like that, in my opinion, with like the small little details on things. And then like even as well, Edward Norton's character, Pete Seeger, like Edward Norton's is like good in like just about everything he does, but in this one, he's just kind of in the background, but he's just like a supporting actor in it, and it's just like it's so well done for him. Like he's just like there, like trying to obviously push Bob into like this career and everything like that, and get more with it. And it's just like great to see him in that type of role because he doesn't really do much these days and stuff like that. But he's like his role in this film was like so important and so influential type thing. And like every time he did talk on screen, like you're just so like focused on him and everything like that, which is like so good, I suppose, like for all the supporting actors in this film and stuff like that. Like they really got their limelight, and that's what James Mangold like really gave him. Like obviously this film is going to be about Bob Dylan, that's the whole thing. But when it came to like Sylvie's character and like Joan and obviously Johnny Cash and everything like that, they really got their own like time to have their own spotlight in this film, which is like amazing because obviously then the actors can perform what they want to do for this character and everything like that. Like it's not just all centered on Bob Dylan himself.
Yeah, totally. This might be my favorite Edward Norton performance since like Fight Club.
Yeah.
He was great. He was again one that I saw Pete Seeger, and he sounded like Pete Seeger. I forgot it was Edward Norton for sections a lot more than I did the other characters, which is crazy considering he's just this very one-note character, but he's great. Great. It's very cool to see the whole way through. One thing I'd like to bring up is the sets of this film.
Yes. That's what
oh my lord. 60s New York comes alive. All of the city streets done up for real. We saw behind the scenes footage and photos from when they were doing these sets, and I was like, wow, these look amazing. And then seeing them on the film, it looks even better
because everything's
these
practical.
Are all
Everything's practical.
real locations.
I don't think, all real locations. I was watching a video earlier about this movie, and one of the comments was actually a person that lived on a street where they were filming and everything like that. And he said, they like literally just changed like the entire street to be like the 60s, and he was like, it was insane type thing because it was like film and like done within like less than a week.
No, No, that's so cool. Oh, I wish someone would do that to my street. That'd look amazing.
I
Oh, that'd
mean,
be
I
so
think
cool.
your street is still in the 1800s.
Yeah, it would not change. Okay, yeah. Ooh. Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about regarding a complete unknown?
Sorry, guys. It's been a while since we did the podcast, and now we're just trying to think of what we can talk about.
Oh my
but
lord.
yeah, it's just everything about it. Like, it was just so great to see, like, finally this film being made after like so long and everything like that. And yeah, like you said, like obviously all the actors that did their own singing in this. They practiced on the guitar, and yeah, it was kind of like better that they postponed the movie because obviously they gave them more time to know how to learn the instruments, how to sing properly and stuff like that, which I feel like is even like made the film even better because of that. I feel like this is like probably like James Mangold's like one of his like top 2 films in my opinion now, because I always thought like Walk the Line was just, like, it's such an amazing job and how he did like that biopic and everything like that. And like he always said that he's like, oh yeah, like I want to do a Bob Dylan one. And I was like, for 20 years he was talking about it. And then it like finally came out. I'm just like, yeah, this beats Walk the Line for me. Like this is a better biopic than Walk the Line. Like I put this on there with like Logan level of type film. Because that's obviously like his number 1 film. Because I love Logan. And I still love Logan more just because of that story and everything like that. But this film is just like, it's such an amazing film. Like I really want to go back and watch it again, type thing. So I was like hoping it comes out to like streaming service so I can buy it digitally soon because I really want to watch it again. Yeah.
It's definitely better than Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
By far.
No, I think this might be my favorite of the Hollywood biopics. All the big ones, you know, like the Bohemian Rhapsodies and the Walk the Lines of the world. I think this is the best done of all of those. There's a couple series that I think are pretty cool that are pretty on par with this. Something I watched So Long Marianne only recently as well, which is the Rise of Leonard Cohen. It's a very similar sort of passage of time and also set in the same era as the Bob Dylan film. Shares a lot of similarities. They're both really good on completely different mediums, so the way they tell their stories varies. But yeah, this film kind of blew me away because I was expecting it to kind of suck, I think.
Yeah.
Just a hunch.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, I was just like watching the trailers and stuff like that. I still wasn't convinced with Timothée Chalamet being Bob Dylan and stuff like that. Every time I look at it, even now when I'm looking at an image, I was like, all I see is like a young Billy Joe Armstrong because that's what he really looks like. It's kind of funny.
It does.
Like, hey, I heard they're doing a Green Day biopic.
Oh god. Yeah, we won't talk about that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
It does unfortunately fall prey to some of the biopic faults. There's a couple moments in this film that I just were like, no, you've messed it up. Like when the piano player comes in and plays like a Rolling Stone perfectly after not knowing how to play the piano. Like there's some slight moments that are, it's a biopic. Look at this stupid thing. We record the song instantly. We write the song instantly. There's a lot of that, but not enough for it to take away.
Yeah, like it felt
from
a lot
the overall
more
experience
in like other biopic films. Like they throw it in there like every 5 to 10 minutes. They're like, oh, remember when this big song came out or this big thing that this person did and stuff like that, where this is only just like, okay, like cool, that's it. And then they like quickly move on type thing.
Yeah. Which I think is good.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, so I guess we should probably head over to final thoughts and ratings for A Complete Unknown.
Yeah. I'm probably going to give this a 9.7.
A 0.7?
A 0.7. I'm not going to give it a full 10 because like a full 10 is a perfect film. And I want to be a bit more this season. I'm going to be a bit more focused on. But it's pretty high up there. Like this is definitely one of those films. I will probably go back and watch it like once a month now, type film.
Yeah,
I feel like that's one of those films for me. Just because I do like Bob Dylan a lot, and I'm just like, this is so well done. And the funny thing is, Bob Dylan probably hasn't even watched this. He probably doesn't even know it's been made.
No.
Knowing him.
That's another
'Cause
funny
it's-
thing.
That's another thing.
The
Yeah.
end of the film has just some lines of text of like, what happened next? And it's like, Bob Dylan recorded 55 albums.
Yep.
And he's the only person to ever get a Nobel Peace Prize in literary award.
Yep.
And
He
he
is the
didn't show
only
up for the
person
ceremony.
ever.
He didn't show up to get the
Yep.
award.
Yep.
A Nobel Prize. It's like
Yep.
the award.
Yep.
That's
Which is
hilarious.
so great, and I suppose like that is the one great thing about this film as well, because a lot of like other biopics film, they like try to show obviously the main person as the good guy and type thing, because it's about
No,
them
he's
and
not
stuff
the
like-
good guy.
he's a complete asshole in this, and it's like
Yeah, that's what the movie should be
made
called,
it
a complete
great.
arsehole.
Yeah, that's so well. But that's like another
would.
thing. They did well with it and stuff like that, and that's what I kind of like. It's that step above like other biopics, even like Walk the Line and stuff like that, where they still showed them being like, oh, we're like, because he's the celebrity, this is a movie, and we'll still make him out to be the good guy. It's like, no, at the end of all this, you're still like, yeah, he's a great musician, he's a great writer, and everything like that. He was a complete fucking asshole to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And it's
great.
like, that's
I
how
love
he
that.
was, apparently. And it's just like, you
How he
watch any other
is.
interview, and that's how he is. He's like, I don't
He's
want to
still
sing my
like
own
that.
songs. You people go fuck yourselves. You sing my songs.
It's great. I love that. Every time he
Yeah.
was being a dick to someone, I was
Yeah.
so in.
Yep.
I was like,
Yep.
please.
Yep.
I do not
So-
want to like you as a person. This is great.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm on a slightly less rating, even though I talk just as highly about it. I'm on an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because I do those little things that annoy me, those little biopic faults, the write the
okay.
song instantly, all that bullshit just
Yeah.
gets to me. That
Yeah.
annoys me. This is probably the highest rating I've given a biopic, an 8 out of 10,
Yeah.
because I think they're the hardest story to tell is someone's real life.
Yeah.
So amazing job, everyone involved. But yeah, it's just those little things. But then there's these really amazing things, like they play the song all the way through, all the performances are spot on, like
Yeah.
the sets and the way everything looks and it's shot.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great. I love all
Yep.
of that. That was perfect.
And that's
but
the
yeah,
thing,
8
it's
out of
just-
10.
yeah,
Just,
8
those,
out of
just
10.
those little things that I'm
And
not
I say
quite sure if you
probably
can really
if
get rid of.
they did it as like a mini series type thing, I would say they probably wouldn't be there. Like if they did like a 4 episode
think
type
so.
thing, I feel like because
Yeah.
they do that a lot just to be like, we've only got 2 hours to make this film and cram still 5 years of
Yeah.
his life into it type thing. It's like we're just gonna have to speed it up a little bit. Like I understand that from a writing perspective as well. Because
annoys
you
me.
and I are like writing so much of the stuff at that moment. It's just like that's the one thing. It's like you're trying to cram so much in such a short amount of time with things. And especially if you're doing a biopic about someone, because I haven't thought about doing that yet. Like, that would just be insane because, like, well, Bob Dylan, he's just been around since the 60s. You could have done so much.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh, no, we're just going to do from 61 to 65. And there's still so much that happened in his career during all that. And they probably still, well, they couldn't showcase everything type thing. And yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like they managed to find a way type thing to
Yeah,
be able to
I
cram
agree.
that in. Yeah.
If this was a mini series, I think it would be amazing. Like I think this might even be a 9 or even a 10 possibly on my scale. Because like So Long Marianne was 8 episodes.
Yep.
That's 8 hours. This was 2.5.
Yeah.
And they were at similar lengths of time, similar stories, and it just gave you so much more world and so much more of these people, which the Bob Dylan movie doesn't do.
Yeah.
But I also kind of like that the Bob Dylan movie doesn't do that. It's just I would have liked maybe another 20, 30 minutes expanding on just some of the little things they rushed through. Just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, like you just wanted like a little bit more out of
Yes.
it type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand that feeling. Yeah, like after it finished and it just like did the things at the end, I thought there was going to be a little bit more after that final concert and stuff like that. But no, it's just like credits. It's like that's
Yeah,
it. Here's
I was
here's some
okay with that.
information that happened, and that's the thing. Like I'm still happy they did all that and everything like that. Like it's just phenomenal type thing. And it was just like, what a way to end it. Like that was a full on just mic drop moment for the movie to end like that as well. It's just like, I do rock and roll now. Fuck you guys.
Speaking of fuck you guys, boomf. I think that's it for today's episode, Barry.
No, we still have a special segment brought
What?
to you by me.
A special
That's
what
right.
now?
A special segment.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to explain what this is because I wasn't aware of this. Special segment?
It's great acting. Great acting. So basically, I haven't told Clayton what I have planned for season 3. But being a new season, being our 3rd year of doing this podcast, I wanted to come back in strong. I wanted to come back in hard.
Terrified.
So I made a quiz game. Basically, the rules
Lord.
are... Is there rules? Not really. It's just how it works is I'm going to give you a description, a vague description of a movie,
Okay.
right? And you're going
Right.
to have to try and guess what that movie is.
Okay. Oh, okay, right. Do I
Are
get
you
a
with
certain
me?
amount of guesses? Okay. Or is it just...
You get one. You get
We
one.
go with
So
it.
It's quite a long
I get
list.
one. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There's more than one.
And some of
Alright,
them are a
okay.
bit easy. Yeah, some of them are a bit easy.
All right. I'm gonna like kick myself over some of these. I can
Oh, yeah.
guarantee it. All right. Okay. I'm
All
ready.
right. So, first one is skinny guy gets into sand and starts a war.
Skinny guy gets into sand and starts a war.
Yeah.
Is this
He
Attack
really
of the
loves
Clones?
sand. No.
Uh,
It's related
Oh,
to
is
the
it-
film today.
is it? It's Dune.
Aha. Oh, yeah, I've got buzzers.
Because
There we go.
oh, play along at
You get that
home,
one.
audience. If you get it
Yeah, play
before
along at
me,
home.
you get like extra
Yeah.
points.
Put it down in the comments. You know, do that thing. Two car guys get really
Two car
mad
guys.
at the French.
Two car guys get really mad at the French.
Yeah, they really hate him. Absolutely
think-
hated him.
The French thing is throwing me off. Oh, it's not like the Italian Job or something, is it?
No, you got to think of the film related today. Who might be like made a film
Oh, are
about
they all-
cars?
Are they all related to... Okay. Who made a film about cars?
I wonder who. I wonder who made that. Definitely not the
Why not?
director who made the film we're talking about tonight.
Why am I blanking on this? It's not Fast and Furious. What's funny?
No, it
Is
was
it?
actually a
Alright.
really good film. That was Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh!
So you got that one wrong.
Because Le Mans. Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew I was
yeah.
stumped on the French thing.
All right, this
God,
one might be a
kick-
bit easier.
kicking
You
myself
might get
already.
this one.
I should have got that one. God.
A professor goes
Okay.
on one final adventure.
A professor goes on one final adventure. Okay, a professor and a final adventure. I'm guessing it's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
There we go. He got it.
I'm working it out.
He's
Getting the
working it out.
connections.
Here we go. Oh, you might not have seen this film, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Two teenagers take their love for each other to the next level by eating people.
Is it Bones and All? With
Hey,
Timothée
he got
Chalamet?
it. He got it.
One of the worst films I've ever seen. I'm sorry if you like that. It was awful. Waste of 2 hours. Anyway,
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
don't. You'd hate it. It's-
Let's
yeah.
do this one. A sad
Oh.
prince wins a war, then realizes ruling is really annoying.
Sad prince wins a war and realizes ruling is really annoying.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel they're getting more out there. Sad prince wins a war. What's a prince war movie?
It's one with the actor we talked about
That's-
today.
Yeah, I know. And
It's actually like the most simplest name ever. You could probably guess
know.
it by
I know.
like what it's actually what I just said. What does a prince become?
King.
You basically said it. It's the king.
The king.
The king.
I haven't seen the king.
Okay. All right.
Does he get sad?
He gets sad. He's just like, I don't want to rule anymore.
No.
But you know, Timothée Chalamet's just like, I don't want to rule anymore. I want to play songs. Do. All right. Final
Watch
one.
that movie.
Final one.
Oh, last one. Okay.
Last one. A dude joins the army and realizes his new job is just running away really fast.
A dude joins the army and realizes
This
his
one's
new job
really fucking vague. This I will
He's
admit.
just
This
running
one is
away.
very vague.
is really fast.
I will
See-
put it down. Yep.
See, like the first things that come to mind are like Forrest Gump and Hacksaw Ridge, but I feel like it's definitely not either of those.
It's not a Timothée Chalamet
Oh.
film.
Okay, so it's an Edward Norton film.
But it's
ooh.
kinda we did talk about it many a times through today's podcast and referenced it quite a bit.
Running away really fast. Walk the line. Walking fast. What?
He got it. He got it. He got it. I was really surprised you got that one. I was just about to
Honestly.
be like, bro, homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? I'm taking that. Did I get more wins? I got more wins than losses.
I think
man.
you
got
got
3 and
more
2.
wins than losses. I did have more, but yeah.
That's a
some
win!
of them are that's a win.
We did
You
it!
did it. You passed.
I passed. If I fail, do I get kicked off the podcast? Or
Yeah,
something?
that's
Is
how
that
it
what
works
happened?
now. Every week I come back, we do it
Oh
again.
my lord. We have a
Gotta keep
game
up on
show
that
now.
movie knowledge.
You're gonna have to make me do research. This
Yeah.
is so like this is to make sure I actually watch the thing we talk about,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, and actually make sure you watch films.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of watching films, we talk about films that we've watched. That's why we're called.
And you
We
should
Talk
go
Film.
and watch them after we've talked about them.
Is that our catchphrase?
I don't know. Do we have a catchphrase? We're trying to figure out that for 3 years now.
I think it should be. See you guys. See you next
All
week.
right, see you guys next week. Thanks for coming out, everyone. We're glad to be back. We're happy to do this. And, we'll try to stay in a schedule again, hopefully. We've got things planned, future things coming soon, very big announcements coming soon. And it's all going to be here on the We Talk Film podcast. Thanks for coming.
Oh, and follow our social medias. We have Instagram. You do stuff on YouTube, Spotify, podcast places, etc.